Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to share where Bitcoin is headed. Has it bottomed yet? What should we do next with Bitcoin? All according to Andrei Jikh. We probably watch all his videos, subscribe to his channel, but what I try to do here is simplify all the pieces of information in one single simple video for us to save time. So if you like what we do here, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button as well as subscribe to the channel. Alright, so why is Bitcoin falling according to Andrei Jikh? Well guys, it's pretty much the same exact reason as the two other people that I covered in the past videos, Benjamin Cowen and Gareth Soloway. If you haven't seen those two videos yet, the link should be down below. Check those out after this video. But it's pretty much the Fed trying to get inflation under control. After all that money printing that happened during the pandemic, they're trying to increase interest rates now, which reduces the amount of money in the system, the amount of borrowing, which is the primary reason why the stock market as well as crypto and Bitcoin have been falling. Some facts about what Andrei thinks about Bitcoin is that he is a major bull if we watch his videos, almost to the point where he thinks that Bitcoin has a way higher chance in the next 5 years of reaching $500,000 than it is from reaching zero. At the moment, we are much closer to zero than we are to $500,000, but it's very likely in our next rally in the next Bitcoin bull market that we may be reaching well over $100,000. Another thing that Andrei has shared is that any investor that has bought Bitcoin, if they've held for over 4 years, they actually never lost any money. Also, Andrei has mentioned that his average cost basis for all the Bitcoin that he owns is somewhere at around $25,000. Now, I couldn't really find a specific amount of how many Bitcoin Andrei actually owns, but he has said that with his whole asset portfolio, with his real estate, his stocks, and his crypto alone holds about 25 to 30% of his whole portfolio. And just recently, he thinks that a major revolution has happened to Bitcoin, and that is what Binance is doing with Bitcoin as far as buying and selling. Just like Robinhood, and what they did with buying and selling stocks is that they completely remove fees. And now with all of these other brokerages, in order for them to compete, they also have removed fees themselves, and now that's pretty much just the standard. And now with Binance also removing their fees with buying and selling crypto, he thinks that now all these other crypto exchanges are gonna have to follow suit in order to compete. This move may not have an immediate change with Bitcoin's price, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. So has the Bitcoin price actually hit a bottom at the moment, according to Andrei? Well, he doesn't necessarily trade Bitcoin. He doesn't give these specific predictions, but what he has done is actually bought one single Bitcoin recently from a price of around $21,450. So what that tells me is that he thinks in his mind that Bitcoin has actually reached somewhere close to the bottom. At the moment, we're hovering under $20,000, and so he thinks that a range is in, and the reason why he actually thinks that is with this launch of an ETF called BITI, which is an ETF that essentially shorts Bitcoin, trying to profit off of the fall in price of Bitcoin. And the reason why he thinks that marks close to the bottom for Bitcoin is because of the complete opposite ETF, BITO, which was launched at the very peak of Bitcoin's price at around $69,000, and ever since then we've fallen completely down. His reasoning now is that the launch of BITI will mark somewhere close to the bottom, enough to where he's actually buying into Bitcoin. Now, as far as his strategy goes, he says that if Bitcoin ever fell below $25,000, that he would jump in heavy. And so far he has, obviously, by buying one single Bitcoin at around $21,000. So if Bitcoin's price continues to fall, my assumption is that Andrei will continue to keep buying in more, because he did say that he'll buy heavy if Bitcoin ever reached under 25,000. He did say that he did miss his chance buying Bitcoin at around 17.5 when it bottomed, and so did I, but I have been buying heavy at around 18,000. Okay, so what about other altcoins? Andrei has mentioned that he still owns Ethereum as well as OMI. He has a pretty decent sized position with those two. He hasn't really mentioned any other ones or actually selling his ETH and OMI positions, but at the same time, my assumption is that he's probably not bullish on altcoins at the moment. He's just only buying Bitcoin. So what about now? What is happening to Bitcoin? When is it gonna actually rally? He thinks that obviously the Fed needs to just get inflation under control. The macro economy needs to improve with the war going on, with supply chains, etc., etc. And he thinks that the number one main thing holding back Bitcoin reaching $100,000 is actually the release of the spot ETF. Once the spot ETF can actually be approved and released and people can buy Bitcoin in their 401ks and retirement accounts is when Bitcoin's price will actually take off and begin rallying. Now, there has been major news with this recently where Grayscale actually has asked for approval for it changing into a spot ETF and actually being recently denied by the SEC. They're actually now pursuing litigation against the SEC, trying to sue them, and we'll see how that actually ends up playing out. But anyways, guys, that is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, definitely hit that thumbs up button as well, subscribe to the channel. My name is Jimmy Invest, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.